What is up, folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about one of my absolute favorite patterns in the post-spawn time of year. Water is clear, fish are up shallow, they're guarding fry, or they're pulled off a little bit deeper and they're recovering from that spawn. So now is the time of year when you want to throw the Bubba Shot to catch a lot of fish. We got a whole bunch of baits to break down. We got a whole bunch of underwater video to go over today. So let's dive on in. Get in there. Look at that. Pinned right there, corner of the mouth. There we go. Right there. Folks, just wanted to let you know that today's video is brought to you by Vantage Tackle. I was looking around on the internet and I found the perfect website for me. You might love it too. Vantage Tackle is home to over 50 independent tackle manufacturers, small-time guys who are making very specific lures, great quality American-made products. So if that's something that interests you, check out Vantage Tackle. I'll link all of this in my bio, but all of the baits today are from Vantage Tackle. So let's dive into those baits and see what we can get to. As we move into that post-spawn period of fishing, things can get a little wacky. And because of that, my favorite thing to do is fish a drop shot. You guys know, if you've watched the channel, I love the drop shot behind the spinnerbait. It's my favorite technique to use. But up here in the North Country, fish get into some heavy cover this time of year. And by heavy cover, I mean submerged weed beds. And I have found that in submerged weed beds, this Bubba Shot, or a heavier drop shot with a short leader. So here what we have is this 1/4 ounce drop shot weight with about an 8-inch leader to a 3/0 or 4/0 offset worm hook here. Really shines in a lot of different situations. So we're going to talk about what I'm fishing in this situation, how I'm fishing, but the Bubba Shot is a killer this time of year. The number one thing I like to throw on the Bubba Shot is a creature bait, and it is way contrary to what normally happens this time of year. Most guys are going to fish a Texas rig creature bait. They're going to flip a jig. They're going to do all kinds of stuff, but I found that elevating that bait off the bottom, keeping it out of that moss and algal bloom that's on the bottom right now, will get you a lot more bites and some bigger bites. You know I love to be different on the channel. So the bait that I'm going to pick up and the bait that we're looking for underwater is the Bait Cave Customs Cave Cricket. And I was cruising a lot of different places and I found Bait Cave Customs on Vantage and they really appealed to me. So the Cave Cricket, if you can see it here, is a literal 3.8-inch crawfish style, but also shape of that creature bait is what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for this because, one thing, when bass comes off the bed, they are funky, and a lot of guys throw wacky worms, they throw those floating worms, they throw a long, slender minnow shape at them. A lot of times that turns them off. But two, this craw/creature profile is a perfect side profile of a bluegill. If you look at it right here, the underwater will tell you. But what I love about fishing a creature bait on a Bubba Shot is literally the fall that you can get on these lures. So first up here we have Alabama Craw, and I really enjoy this color, especially this time of year because those crawfish are finishing up their first molt, right in line with that. So bass are really keyed in on the oranges and browns, and really what you can see on this bait is as you pop it up, you get a nice flutter back down. As you pop it up, you get a nice flutter back down. Now, there are two different ways to fish these. You can fish it on that Bubba Shot, or you can fish it on a traditionally nose-hooked drop shot. And on that nose-hooked drop shot, you're going to get a lot more aggressive action. So, if fish are aggressive, you want to match that aggressive with more aggressive, if you will, right? So anywhere you can get away with fishing a nose hook creature bait, fish it. It's going to be more aggressive if the water is warm and the fish are actively feeding. You're going to get a lot of bites with that. But if you have to get further into the cover, if you have to get further into the junk, that's when the Texas rig drop shot shines. That's when the Bubba Shot shines. So drop shotting a creature bait is really, really, really a good way to contact fish that they're not going to be seen. So I picked out 3 colors of the cave cricket. I liked the Alabama craw, and then next up we have June bug. If you're in dirtier water or fish are in those scattered grass clumps and the water's a little bit off, say there's a lot of boats running on Memorial Day weekend and they got the water all mudded up, that June bug color or that tannic water color is going to shine. I really like June bug, and one of the reasons why I like June bug, especially up here in the North Country, is it's just a color that a lot of guys don't throw. A lot of guys throw green pumpkin. A lot of guys throw black and blue. June bug is in the middle. It's still got that natural to it, and a lot of the bluegills up here, if you haven't noticed, have that purple hue in them. So June bug with that extreme action on it does a really good job of generating bites. All of these baits are very, very, very well done. They are well poured. They are consistent across there. And what we like about baits, especially here on the channel, is ones that do a lot of things well. So if you can nose hook it versus regular running it through their Texas rig, then you still get the same action. You're going to have a little bit less on the Texas rig, but you still get that same action. That's a huge benefit. And Bait Cave custom baits have performed up to that standard. The last color I picked here was Plum Pearl. And I really like Plum Pearl when you're fishing those deep weed pockets from 12 to 15 feet. This is where this color, for whatever reason, is really going to shine. And when I'm fishing those deep weed pockets, think of it as flipping, but I'm flipping underwater, right? If I know there is a 8 by 12 foot weed patch, I'm going to flip this bait in the middle of it, and then I'm going to pull it out. When I feel no resistance of weeds, I'm going to let it fall all the way to the bottom, then I'm going to rip it away, then I'm going to rip it away again, because what it looks like is a fleeing bluegill or a fleeing crawfish leaving that area. Once again, if you can get away with nose hooking it, nose hook it. If you can get away with Bubba shotting it, if you're in heavier cover or around bigger fish, Bubba shot it. But what you're going to see is you're going to generate a lot of strikes and a lot of reactions to it simply because it's that craw / bluegill profile that's hitting the bottom. And literally what it's doing for you is keeping it out of the junk, also allowing you to fish it through a lot of different stuff and generate reaction bites. So there's the cave cricket from Bait Cave Customs. Next up, we have the Cave Craw and a 4-inch craw. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite ways to fish a crawfish style bait like this. A lot of guys are like, oh man, why aren't you throwing that on a jig? Why aren't you throwing that on a Texas rig? Let me tell you that drop shotting a craw with big waving pinchers like that is a fantastic way to get bit, and it's a fantastic way to present a bait that fish don't normally see. Drop shotting a craw with extended pinchers like that is one of the best ways to get bit in tough conditions, because it looks like a crawfish coming through the water and then settling down and slowly going back down. If you watch crawfish on the bottom, they'll pop up and then slowly head back down to the bottom. If they're scooting along the bottom, it's different, but in the warmer water and especially in the weeds and muck, if you see a fish swim through there and a crawfish sees them and they try to flee, man, they will absolutely hammer that bait. So, literally speaking, it's my favorite time of year to do this. Don't ask me why it works as well as it does, but let me tell you, it works really, really, really well, especially on that Bubba Shot, right? That heavy drop shot. So, first up is this creek water color, and I love it because it's blue, and then it has that gold in the belly of it, and it has that green pumpkin-esque hue to it. This is one of my favorite colors, right? Anytime I see this color, I scoop it up quick because I love the fact that it gives so many different bluegill hues in one package. So creek water is an insanely, insanely exciting bait. Next up, we have Alabama craw. This is just your traditional orange on green pumpkin with those orange claws. Great all-around crawfish color. It's going to work anywhere you go. It's a solid, solid, solid option to throw. And then finally, maybe could be my new favorite color looking at it in my hand now, you have spring craw. And this is your green pumpkin with a yellow belly and greenish claws. This is going to be a great dock flipping bait, I already know, but on a drop shot, this can be that perch color. And I'm gonna take this up to the Great Lakes. I'm gonna whack some smallies with it because once again, it's got that right coloration on it, but it also has amazing action underwater on the Bubba Shot and amazing action on the drop shot. So if we're looking for different shapes and we want to visit Vantage Tackle, we can go to vantagetackle.com. You can see all of this selection of baits, right? If we want to go craws and creatures, we can start to compare. We can look for all of the different baits here at Vantage. Here's the one that caught my eye to start, that Bait Cave Custom Crave Craw. It looks amazing, as you can see, even better in person. There's that creek water bait that looked really, really good. Here is that spring craw bait that we saw underwater, looking amazing. The cool thing about Vantage Tackle, once again, is these are all custom bait makers, US-based independent tackle manufacturers. We got Vector in there. We've got all kinds of different stuff, all kinds of manufacturers. Guys, if you like what's happening on the channel right now, give us a like and subscribe. Let us know how we can better serve you in the channel. Head on over to Vantage, check out all of the stuff at the tackle shop there, and let us know how we can help you in the future. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for hanging out.